Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the vibrant, fascinating world of Barbie, a film that takes the iconic doll we all know and love and turns her story into a thought-provoking journey of self-discovery. Before we jump into the recap, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Now, let's get into the story. Our story begins in a place like no other, Barbie Land. Imagine a world where everything is pink, bright, and perfect. A place where the sun always shines and the skies are always clear. In Barbie Land, the inhabitants live in a utopia that reflects the idealized world that many girls imagine while playing with their Barbie dolls. Every day is perfect, every moment is flawless, and every Barbie, as you might expect, is living her best life. Barbie Land is populated by multiple Barbies and Kens, each embodying a different aspect of perfection. There's President Barbie, Physicist Barbie, Dr. Barbie, Writer Barbie, Diplomat Barbie, Journalist Barbie, Mermaid Barbie, and even a pregnant doll named Midge. Every Barbie here is empowered and capable of doing anything she wants. They hold every position of power and influence in Barbie Land, from politics to science, from arts to sports. On the other hand, the Kens are a bit different. While they are good looking and supportive, they don't quite enjoy the same level of influence or recognition as the Barbies. Their existence in Barbie Land seems to revolve around the relationships they have with the Barbies, rather than any personal achievements or aspirations. Our main character is a Barbie referred to as stereotypical Barbie, played by Margot Robbie. She wakes up each day in her dream house, which is the epitome of Barbie glamour. Think pastel colors, sleek furniture, and a wardrobe to die for. Her daily routine is nothing short of perfect. From brushing her hair to getting dressed, everything she does is flawless and choreographed to a T. It's a life that seems ideal in every way, but as we'll soon discover, perfection can have its pitfalls. Every day Barbie follows the same routine, meeting all the other Barbies, Kens, and her quirky friend Alan at the beach, where everyone gathers to have a fun-filled day. However, there's a subtle tension between the Kens, particularly between Ryan Gosling's Ken and Simu Liu's Ken. They both vie for Barbie's attention, and it's clear that Ryan's Ken is especially jealous of how Barbie interacts with Simu's Ken. In a humorous attempt to impress Barbie, Ryan's Ken decides to run into the waves at the beach, trying to showcase his bravery and athleticism. But in true comedic fashion, he ends up crashing hard and falling over, much to the amusement of everyone around. But the lighthearted mood is soon disrupted by something unexpected. That night, everyone gathers at stereotypical Barbie's dream house for a dance party. The scene is filled with joy, laughter, and an incredible dance number set to a catchy disco song performed by Dua Lipa. It's a massive, colorful celebration of everything Barbie Land represents: fun, freedom, and friendship. But then something unusual happens. In the middle of all the dancing and merriment, Barbie suddenly wonders out loud, "Do you ever think about dying?" The question lands like a bombshell. The other Barbies, who are all about positivity and perfection, are stunned. It's clear that this is a thought no one in Barbie Land has ever entertained before, and the party quickly becomes awkward. Barbie, realizing the gravity of what she said, tries to laugh it off as a joke, but the moment leaves her and everyone else a little shaken. The next day, Barbie's perfect routine starts to go wrong. Instead of her usual flawless morning, things begin to malfunction. Her shower, which is usually the perfect temperature, is suddenly cold. Her hair doesn't fall into place like it always does. And perhaps most alarmingly for Barbie, her feet, which are always perfectly arched to fit it into high heels, go flat. Yes, flat feet in Barbie Land are a sign that something is seriously amiss. On top of that, Barbie starts experiencing other very un-Barbie-like problems, like bad breath and anxiety. These imperfections are not just embarrassing for Barbie. They're completely alien in a world where everything is supposed to be perfect. Concerned, the other Barbies suggest that she seek out the one figure in Barbie Land who might understand what's going on: Weird Barbie. Weird Barbie, who is hilariously portrayed as a bit of an outsider in Barbie Land, lives in a quirky, offbeat house that stands in stark contrast to the pristine dream houses of the other Barbies. She's eccentric, with wild hair and mismatched clothing, a look that resulted from a child playing with her a little too roughly. Because of her unique experience, Weird Barbie has become something of a sage or a shaman among the Barbies. She understands things that the others don't, especially when it comes to the connection between Barbie land and the real world. Weird Barbie listens as stereotypical Barbie describes her strange new experiences, and she quickly realizes that Barbie is suffering from a glitch in the continuum between Barbie land and the real world. It turns out that Barbie land and the real world are connected in ways that the Barbies don't fully understand, and something has gone wrong on the other side, causing Barbie to malfunction. Weird Barbie tells her that the only way to fix the problem is to travel to the real world and find the person who's playing with her, someone who must be experiencing some deep emotional turmoil. Despite her reluctance, stereotypical Barbie agrees to embark on this journey, hoping to restore her perfect life. Barbie bids farewell to her friends in Barbie Land and sets off on her journey, but she's not alone. Ryan's Ken, eager to see more of the world and not content with being left behind, sneaks into her car and joins her on the trip. As Barbie and Ken arrive in the real world, they quickly discover that things are very different from Barbie Land. Gone are the pink skies and perfect weather. Instead, they're confronted with a reality that is far more complicated and at times harsh. Barbie, who has always believed that her existence and the Barbie dolls have made the world a better place, is in for a rude awakening. For the first time, Barbie experiences things like catcalling, harassment, and the realization that the world is not as progressive as Barbie Land. She's shocked to find that unlike Barbie Land, where women hold all the positions of power, the real world is dominated by men. This stark contrast is deeply unsettling for Barbie, who starts to question everything she thought she knew. When a man smacks her on the butt, Barbie's immediate response is to punch him in the face, a move that unsurprisingly lands her in trouble with the law. Both she and Ken end up getting arrested, not once, but twice, after they steal clothes from a store to blend in better. The chaos they cause quickly alerts the company that created Barbie, Mattel, that two of their dolls have somehow entered the real world. As Barbie tries to process her new surroundings and find the girl who's playing with her, Ken, meanwhile, is having his own eye-opening experience. Unlike Barbie, who is disillusioned by what she sees, Ken is thrilled to discover that men hold so much power in the real world. For the first time, Ken sees a world where he is more than just an accessory to Barbie, a world where he can be in charge. Ken becomes fascinated with concepts like patriarchy and begins to explore how he might bring some of these ideas back to Barbie Land. He starts visiting libraries and bookstores, reading up on topics like horses and masculinity, which only fuels his desire to bring these ideas back home. He's convinced that if Barbie Land adopted some of the power structures of the real world, he and the other Kens could finally have the status they deserve. Barbie eventually tracks down the girl she believes is responsible for her malfunctions. She's a tween named Sasha, and their meeting is anything but pleasant. Sasha is not the little girl Barbie expected to find. Instead, she's cynical, critical, and even angry. She accuses Barbie of being a symbol of everything wrong with the world. According to Sasha, Barbie dolls have set the feminist movement back by decades and have contributed to body image issues and unrealistic standards for women. Barbie is devastated by this harsh critique. For so long, she believed she was a positive force in the world, empowering girls to be anything they wanted to be. But now, faced with Sasha's accusations, she begins to question her entire existence. Sasha's words cut deep, and Barbie is left feeling more lost and broken than ever. While Barbie is grappling with this identity crisis, Ken is off having the time of his life, soaking up all the male privilege the real world has to offer. He's learning that in this world, men are seen as the leaders, the decision makers, and he's determined to bring this newfound knowledge back to Barbie Land. Just as Barbie is at her lowest, Mattel's executives catch up with her. They intend to take her back to the Mattel headquarters and put her back in her box, literally. But Barbie isn't ready to give up that easily. With the help of a new ally, Gloria, who turns out to be Sasha's mother and the real source of Barbie's malfunctions, Barbie manages to escape. Gloria, who has been struggling with her own issues in the real world, resonates deeply with Barbie. She reveals that it was her feelings of inadequacy and her struggle with the pressures of modern womanhood that were causing Barbie's problems. Gloria's emotional turmoil was reflected in the doll she once played with, and that's why Barbie was breaking down. With this new understanding, Barbie, Gloria, and Sasha decide to return to Barbie Land together. But when they arrive, they find that Ken has completely transformed their once perfect world. He has introduced patriarchy to Barbie Land, turning it into Kendom, where the Kens are now in charge, and the Barbies have been relegated to subservient roles. Barbie is horrified by what Ken has done. The Barbies, once strong, independent, and empowered, are now docile and compliant, doing whatever the Kens tell them. The world she knew and loved has been turned upside down. Barbie tries to reason with Ken, but he's too caught up in his new sense of power to listen. He blames Barbie for never seeing him as more than a sidekick and for always putting the needs of the Barbies first. Desperate to restore Barbie Land to its former glory, Barbie and Gloria come up with a plan. They enlist the help of Weird Barbie and the other outcast dolls to deprogram the Barbies and remind them of who they really are. It's a challenging task, but with a little creativity and a lot of determination, they manage to pull it off. One by one, the Barbies wake up from their brainwashed state and reclaim their identities. They remember that they are the leaders, the thinkers, the creators, and they start to resist the changes Ken has imposed on them. The Barbies' empowerment is a powerful moment in the film as they band together to take back their world. As the Barbies reclaim their power, the Kens, who have been busy fighting among themselves, realize that their newfound patriarchy isn't all it's cracked up to be. They've been so caught up in trying to outdo each other that they've lost sight of what really matters. In a moment of introspection, Ken admits to Barbie that he's been unhappy and confused, struggling to find his own identity outside of his relationship with her. Barbie, in turn, apologizes to Ken for not recognizing his feelings and for taking him for granted. She encourages him to find out who he really is, independent of her or anyone else. It's a poignant moment of growth for both characters, as they begin to understand that true fulfillment comes from within, not from external validation. In the end, Barbie Land is restored, but it's not quite the same as before. The Barbies and Kens have learned valuable lessons about themselves and each other. The Barbies realize that while they are powerful and capable, they must also make room for the Kens to find their own paths. The Kens, meanwhile, learn that their worth isn't tied to how much power they have over others, but in being true to themselves. The film concludes with Barbie making a life-changing decision. She's seen what the real world is like, with all its flaws and complexities, but also its beauty and potential. Ruth Handler, the original creator of Barbie, appears to her and offers some final words of wisdom. Ruth tells Barbie that she was created to inspire girls to be anything they wanted, but now it's time for Barbie to choose her own path. Barbie decides that she no longer wants to be just a doll, an idea in someone else's mind. She wants to be human, to experience life with all its ups and downs, its imperfections and challenges. With Ruth's blessing, Barbie steps into the real world as a fully human woman, ready to write her own story. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into Barbie. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the film and if there are any other movies you'd like me to cover. Until next time, keep dreaming big and embracing your true self. See you in the next video.